What's up, y'all? This I know I started so many new series that I didn't get to finish yet, but this is gonna be the ones I will actually finish since I don't see a lot of these on YouTube. Today's what if will be what if what what if Deku was in unordinary. When the money talks, what is there to say? Blow away, watch it blow away. When I die, can't take it to the grave. So, we begin our story when Deku is fighting the League of Villains for the first time in the USJ as Kitty Giddy sees how powerful Deku is, as he decides to use an ability on him to, stop him. Since because before he thought of this idea, he put a very huge wound on Shigaraki's body. So he uses the ability that All For One gave him, which is a last resort ability, but he uses it on Deku. When Deku sees a black portal covers him, he jumps out the way, but he gets caught in the portal, Kitty's portal. I said Kitty's portal. As we wake up, not we, but Deku wakes up after like an hour of floating in just black space and seeing someone in front of him, telling him to wake up. As he gets up, as he yawns, as he says, huh? Before he can say anything, he said, Mr. As the lady that was by him says, Mr. I am your mother. You can show me some respect and get up when I tell you to. And come down and eat breakfast. As she walks away. Deku, who's very confused, gets up, takes a shower, and as he does all of this, he's thinking about what happened. As he thinks this is weird. And Kitty just took him and left, and everything was black for like an hour, and then everything just blocked out. Then he had a feeling that someone or something was watching him. As he turned his head, and he said that it was just his little sister watching him. As Deku, waves at her, trying to not to catch any suspicion. I'm going way ahead of myself. My fault, guys. But Deku, after showering and brushing his teeth and washing his face, goes downstairs. He eats some of the breakfast. He feels like someone's looking at him. Turns back, it's his sister. So, after he tells his sister to come here, she comes there. She eats her food. As Deku's mom says, "Why aren't you in your uniform?" And she's like, "Oh, uniform? Is that the thing I saw hanging up? It's clothes I saw hanging up." As he is like, she's like, "Go get ready for you be late." As Deku says, "All right." As he puts on a uniform saying Wellston High. Well, not Wellston High, but it got more stuff. But I'm just gonna call it Wellston High. And he's like, as he looks at it, he's like, Wellston High. His mom's like, hurry up. So he runs. He gets out the house. He's like, I have no idea where I'm going. As he gets his phone out, as he looks up the location, as he walks he walks to the location. As he sees everything that's happening in front of his face, as he walks, as he starts walking, as he sees the school, he looks up at it as he smiles, saying, what is going on? As once he walks into the school, he goes to the principal's office. The principal looks at him, well, the headmaster looks at him and says, here. As he gives him his what's it called again? You know what I'm talking about. His classes, his classes to go to. He goes to his homeroom, which the teacher looks at him and tells him to introduce himself. He does. Deku introduces him. He says, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I am he ain't 15 in this. He says, before he says he's 15, he realizes, wait a minute, I'm a third year. I'm a third year. So he says, I'm 18 years old, and I like, and before he can say it, he said, yeah, that's enough, go sit down. So sit down by a girl with pink hair. Pink, and has other little parts of different colors in her hair. As this one other dude walks up to him after the teacher leaves so that they can change classes. As he asks him, hey, what's your ability? He's like, ability? He's like, yeah, your ability. I think it was like ability. So he says, how do I spell me? He's like, my ability is a strength. Before he said core, he's like, ability. He's like, so strength. He's like, do you know what tier you are? No, I don't actually. He's like, oh, well, if you go by the front desk, they will tell you your tier. As Deku walks, as now I'm gonna get into the tiers. Levels, whatever. So we have the low tier, the mid tier, and the high tier. And judging by how I said it, and y'all who knows everything about it can just skip. But who knows about the leveling system already can just skip. But pretty much the low rank are the weakest students in the school. The mid ranks are like the kind of normal kids with normal strength, and there's the high ranks, the strongest ones in the school. But very rarely, well, not rarely, but like it's kind of not kind of rare, but rare at the same. It's kind of rare, but not rare at the same time. You will go above a high tier, which is God tier. As Deku, who walks to, as we also had, I almost forgot about it before I forget. There's also 3 high like statuses in school. Gotta check my time. 3 high statuses in school where it's the Joker, which is the third strongest, the Queen, which is a female role, the strongest female, and we got the King, the strongest male in the school. And the Joker can be anybody, a girl, a guy, trans if he wants to be. I'm not gonna try to be funny on this one, so I'm never funny. But Deku does actually go to the person before going to class. As when he goes to the lady, she looks at him. She's like, "Oh, you come here to get your, to see what tier you are, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." So she's like, "How do?" She's like, "Oh no, do not. Oh, don't worry, honey. Just stick out your hand, and I'll read it for you." As Deku sticks out his palm, as he turns his hand around to face, so like she can see his palm, and she grabs it, As she closes her eyes, well, before she closes her eyes glows, and she closes them. As she smiled, she was like, "Sir, you are very lucky." And she was like, "What do you mean?" As he was like, you are a god tier. Which I forgot what numbers are a god tier. I just know they're strong. They're like, it's like, is John a god tier? I don't know. But he was like, I'm a god tier. So the dude that asked him like what tier he is, and you know, and like what his ability is, he's like, oh, the god tier is stronger than a high tier. So he's like, oh, okay. So he after that he goes as he moves as the rest and the whole school day goes normal for him. As after school he puts all the stuff that he came with. Well, he thought he was gonna have to put up, but actually the headmaster already put it in his dorm. As right now he has no one to share the dorm with, so he has to pretty much have a dorm to himself. So he pretty much. After that, Deku grabs a book as he reads through stuff about this world. As he reads everything about how they are kings, queens, everything. As of course, meanwhile, the same dude that asked Deku what his tier is goes up to this yellow-haired dude. And he said, Arlo. And the dude turns around, he's like, yes. Like, we have a new god tier in our school. He's like, god tier, eh? Bring him to me tomorrow morning. As Deku was like, but how did I tell him I don't know how to control my ability? As Deku gets up, as he looks through like how do people control their powers, as he looks up, as he sees one thing about the people putting their power through their whole body. As Deku tries it, he fails 3 times, but the 4th time, he does it. But not for long. So Deku all night practices it. And at like 1 o'clock in the morning, he goes to sleep. After all that training. So next day, Deku wakes up. He's extremely tired. But he doesn't have time for being tired as he walks. As he walks to school, which is literally right there. But then the same dude, as he goes to class, everything goes exactly normal. Like he learns a bit of stuff, but then the dude walks up to him and taps his arm as he walks with him. As Deku looks over his shoulder, as he sees the boy that the dude that you guys see right here in the picture. His name is John. But except for having the hair that he has now, he has flat, greasy hair. So Deku sees him getting beat the F up by this dude with the purple skin. As Deku, with his heroes, he activates like 145% as he runs over to the dude, punching him dead in his face, sending him flying. As they see the lightning going around Deku, as the dude looks at him, he's like, "Hey, who the hell are you?" As he jumps at Deku. Deku looks at him as Deku grabs him by the face and slams his head into the ground. And Deku was like, 5% of my power and I'm this strong? He's like, well, that's what it means, I'm God tier. As dude is trying to fight, but Deku is weaving and punching him all in his face. As one of the dudes walks over to the dude with the purple skin, as he said that Deku was a God tier. And he is pretty much fighting on winning battle. And after hearing that, he runs away. As Deku walks over to John, as he tells him, is he alright? And John says, yeah. And John's like, I have to go to the nurse's office. As Deku was like, alright. As he begins to walk with the other kid to go see Arlo, as they make it into like this room, this black room, as he sees Arlo sitting in a chair, and he says, "Welcome, Deku." And this is where I'm going to end the video off. Since we're running out of time, I have to end the video off here. See you guys later.